So now let's welcome two absolute heroes of One Young World. First up, an amazing man, Nobel Prize winner, the man who invented microfinance. He's been a counselor at every single One Young World for us, for which we are so enormously grateful. His amazing wisdom and insights illuminate the stage every year. One particular one that stands out for me was back in Pittsburgh at the height of the financial crisis, and where banks were basically not supporting people and pulling credit. And he stood on stage and said, you know, banks are asking if people are credit-worthy. Should people not be asking if banks are people-worthy? So please put your hands together. A huge round of applause for Professor Muhammad Yunus.
And with him, our dear friend, the founder of the Grumeen Creative Lab, energetic, passionate, loyal, crazy, Hans Reitz.
Hans Reitz. And I just have to say a thing about this man, who only missed One Young World because he had a baby last year. But when you're working with somebody as unbelievably famous and exceptional as Professor Yunus, it should be hard to actually be in the spotlight, but he's a complete rock star as well. Hans.
There you go. So you go ahead and I'll wait.
Go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Thank you. So, thanks a lot. And Professor Yunus will join you in 5 or 7 minutes. You know, the balls behind me, the balloons, and seeing the whole stuff about business, and seeing the whole stuff about business needs empathy, business needs compassion, business needs to survive mindfulness. Today, when we saw this incredible touching point about this young girl from North Korea, I was thinking, she is for us a princess of empathy. We was crying backstage, like you. And empathy is such an important aspect. So of course, we talked now the last days so much about what's going on, what's wrong, what makes us sad, what makes us angry. But we all, especially you, my children as well, have a right to feel joy and happiness. Our happiness would be to make this princess of empathy happy again. One tool, what I saw a couple of years ago, who brings us a navigation out of all these pressures where we are, was the idea of one of the most poorest countries in the world, in Bangladesh. So we went down as German guys to see not how we can help them, what we can learn from them. And we created a movement for the cause of social business. And since One Young World is started parallel, a month later always, we do something what we call the Global Social Business Summit. Let's have the video from the last Social Business Summit in Kuala Lumpur.
We are back again. Yeah. To see where we are, how far we want to go, what is the next we want to do. That's what the summit is all about.
There are two ways of measuring the benefits to a corporate. One is the top line and one is the bottom line.
We worked on presenting lots of ideas and lots of models of how to empower those people.
Shake a little bit, huh? Let's shake. We are people who need people, you know, we are born to be together.
We all know about the frustrating situation of the system, the economic system that we have in the world, which promise a lot of things, which promise that we'll have all the solutions given by the system so that we will merrily move forward with whatever we are doing. But that didn't work out that way.
Helping the social entrepreneurship is our intentionally chosen method that kind of position ourselves to be part of building the local economy.
And we want to create the social business knowledge network and expand all the social business practitioners around the world. It is the platform to know, build, and run the social business.
We help get the beautiful, wonderful ideas of social business outside to other places, to other countries.
We can only make a small dent in someone's life. For me, what matters is whether the quality of that education, whether some kind of innovation happens in that education or not.
We dream about a social stock exchange where the investors would have access not only to a very acute, updated, precise, and verified financial information about the economic situation, but something of the same quality, the same accuracy about the social aspect and the social impact.
People are bubbling with social issues, want to do things for Brazil.
80% of the wealthy concentrated in just 5 to 10% of the people. We have all the resource, and we have a lot of young people very enthusiastic about changing the world.
What do I want to contribute to? How do I relate my job as a manager and my life as a person?
This project was a very moving one this year, early this year, with the United Nations Refugee Agency. We set up 2 refugee tents and gave homeless people and poor people a place to stay.
Fire away, work away, have a little debate at the tables and make up your 2 entries.
Lakukanlah nya dengan penuh gembira dan bahagia.
Wow.
If you don't understand what that means, it's basically do it with joy.
If you're social business, if you're small, you often have the advantage of being faster.
It is live. We have every intention of turning it into a social business.
More innovative.
In only 1 generation, everything changed.
More courageous.
So that we can say that a bunch of under 25-year-olds in about 6 hours, skipping out on our workshops, built and launched a social business at the Global Social Business Summit 2013.
If we unleash the young people, empower them, support them, those problems will be addressed.
They are the key in the whole picture. And where will the next summit be? Where the drums are beating someplace.
Mexico City.
So thank you very much to the Bangladeshi. Thank you very much to the whole Grameen family to give us this inspiration for the whole world. You know, we Germans bring engineering in the world. They show us in the future how social problem can be fixed and can be fixed in a joyful way. Thanks to Kate and David, what are you doing? It's amazing over 5 years. I really love you. And now, enjoy the master of super happiness. Enjoy Professor Yunus.
Well, welcome to Mexico City. Get ready to come to Mexico City. That's where we'll be meeting. Yeah. How many of you are coming? Not a good response. That will be fun, like we did last time in Kuala Lumpur. Now we'll be having in Mexico City, Social Business Summit. Everybody will be there. But what is this social business? They always talk, social business. How does it make a difference in the way that we live, we think, we act? Is it something different, or is it just a new packaging of the old stuff? That's what we need to know before we figure out whether we want to go to Mexico City or not. You remember microcredit? Are you familiar with microcredit, microfinance? Yeah, you are. So that's something started, tiny loans given to poor people. And out of that, we created a bank called Grameen Bank, very small bank at that time. Now it became big bank. Grameen Bank now works all over Bangladesh, has 8.5 million borrowers, mostly women, 97% of them women. And that idea of microfinance is spread all over the world. Now it works in every single country, even including in very rich countries, in Europe, in North America, in South America, and so on. We work in United States. We call Grameen America. We have 8 branches of Grameen America in New York City alone. There are 25,000 women who are borrowing from Grameen America. Average loan is $1,500, and their repayment record is as high as anybody else could make it, near 100%, 99.4%. So that idea has spread in other cities. So we have branches in other cities like Omaha, Nebraska, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Charlotte, North Carolina, Boston, and several others. Same thing. What is the difference between microcredit and the conventional banking? There are many differences. I joke about saying we created Grameen Bank just looking at the conventional banks, how they do it. Once we learn how they do it, we just do the opposite. And it worked. That's a fun thing, because when you see something working, you never challenge it. You think that's the only way you can do it. But the fact that once you reverse it, you do the other things, you get things done which was never done before. Because this machine works in one direction, which is the direction of the rich people. So the conventional banks that we see around us literally can be called bank for the rich. That's why probably you are familiar when they try to explain what we do, Grameen Bank does, they said, it's a bank for the poor. So that makes all the difference. So the bank for the poor does things completely differently, completely opposite way than the bank for the rich. Otherwise, you cannot do what is being done for the poor people. So this is how you reversing things is very important. Then all of a sudden you make it happen. In that reversal process, when you change everything around, like big banks, bank for the rich, go to the rich people, richer you are, more attractive client you are, you reverse that. You say, poor you are, more attractive client you are. If you're the poorest, you are the most attractive person we can get. So it's a reversal. Conventional banks try to go to the men. Grameen Bank, the poor people's bank, go to women. Rich banks go to the city center. Grameen Bank goes to the remote village. And every aspect of you see is very different. Like if you do the banking with the bank for the rich, you have to come to their office and do business at their office. We reversed that. We said, people should not come to the bank. Bank should go to people. When I say 8.5 million borrowers in Bangladesh with Grameen Bank, that means we from the bank has to go to the poor people at their doorstep to do the business done. So you reverse it. So every aspect of it, you reverse it. Then it becomes a system by itself and get the things done which was not done by the other man. Now look at the business part of it. What do the business do? The mission of business is to make money. That's what we are told. That's what we do all the time. And once you are in business, you're fully focused on making money. And the measurement of success of business is how much money you make. The more money you make, more successful business you are. So this is one we already know. This is how the world has been trained to focus on, carry on their daily life. Along the way, when we are doing microcredit, reversing the banking system, we started another kind of business. Business to solve problem. And we made one after another business like that. And we had soon more than 50 companies, 60 companies in that way. Problem-solving business, where there is no attention, no interest in making personal money. See, the conventional business is focused on making personal money. So we reversed it. We said, forget about personal money. things are happening in the world which we are feeling terribly upset about cannot be solved by the business which creates them. So we have to reverse the business, come out of that business, and do something which will solve those problems. What are the problems? We always talk about all those problems. Poverty is a problem. Unemployment is a problem. Dependence on the state charity is a problem. Healthcare is a problem. Environment is a problem, a massive problem. So all these things are done in the way we created the world as it is. So if we can tinker with it, try to amend a little thing here, adjust a little thing there, but the machine keeps on cranking out the same thing as it is before. And in a way, one can just give the example, say, if you plant a mango tree, you get mangoes. You can't get apples from a mango tree. So if you're trying to find another kind of fruit, you have to plant another fruit tree, which produces that fruit. So today, as if we are trying to get a different result from the same system, it doesn't happen. And a massive problem of the present system is income disparity. Enormous income disparity. If you take it, the people at the bottom, people at the top, you read it every time, you're horrified by looking at those income disparities. They tell you that 15 people in the whole world, 15 people of the whole world, own more wealth than the bottom half of the entire population of the world. 3.5 billion people own less than only 15 people in the world. So that's the kind of concentration of wealth. How? Because machine that we built, which we call the economic system, is always sucking juice from the bottom and transport this juice from the bottom to the top. So all the juice concentrate at the top. Bottom becomes empty. So out of that emptiness comes all those problems, because as juice goes up, you can't stop them. You can, as I say, you can tinker with here, tinker with there, but the machine always keep on sucking the juice from the bottom, transporting into the juice, top. So income disparity is built into it. Unemployment is built into it. Poverty is built into it. You can't solve those problems. That's not what we were doing when we are trying to do microcredit, Grameen Bank, and so on. We look at the problem and try to come up with a solution. Not as a theoretician, it's just a practical thing. We can take this a step and get it done. How did microcredit start? Is it a research thing that we do? No. Simply, we saw lots of loan sharking taking place in the village, right next to the university where I was teaching. And it's a horrifying scenario, how people squeeze out every drop of their juice from the poor people and take it from themselves, which are well-off people. And you can't do anything about it. You feel totally helpless. How do you solve this problem? And I was furious to see those things happening right in front of my own eyes. Then I thought I can solve this problem. Not for the whole world, but few people in this village. How? Why don't I lend the money myself? If I lend the money myself, people can come to me. They don't have to go to the loan shark. So the problem is solved. And I immediately started lending money out of my own pocket. I was not waiting for some big guy to come and give me money, or somebody to donate, have a big research proposal or big project proposal to raise funds, nothing of the sort. Simply whatever money I have in my pocket, I started giving it. And it worked. And step by step, expanded it, created a bank out of it, called it Grameen Bank. You put a name to it so that people understand what we're doing. That name didn't exist before. Microcredit is a new word. It didn't exist in English dictionary. So we coined a word to describe what we do. And everybody became familiar with it. So this is just started as an individual initiative. So you don't have to wait for everybody to gather together, march on the street, which is important. I'm not saying that these are not important things. But as an individual, we have lots of capacity to do things. And then after this, we saw a lot of other things. We started addressing that. One of the things we see, the health problem, so we created health companies. We created health insurance so that we can provide health services to the people. But everything we did with the same concern is to solve problem, not to make money for ourselves. That was very clear right from the beginning. All these companies that we built with the same thing. Then people ask, why do you create business if you're not making money? I said, what's wrong with it? He said, no, you're supposed to make money. I said, those who want to suppose that, let them suppose that. I don't want to suppose it. I want to solve problem. I see business as a good mechanism, good system to use in solving problems. All I have done, I kind of delinked myself from the whole idea of making personal money. And suddenly, I see things emerging in front of me in terms of solutions. All I did is just cut off one tiny idea of not making money. And then I see one after another possibilities of solving problem. And I try to explain it by saying, look, we are all fitted with the glass. We are wearing this glass all the time. That's a profit-making glass. We look at the world, how to make more money. Everybody is fitted with this in our education, in our family, in our daily experience. We are told you have to make money. So we have this eyes kind of fitted with these glasses. What I'm saying, why don't you take off those money-making glasses, put on these social business glasses, and you see the world completely differently. And all of a sudden, you see all these problems are solvable. And I can solve this. You, as an individual, can solve it. You don't have to wait for anybody else. And that's what the social business direction is, once you delink from personal profit-making. And it started happening. And we started calling it, this is another class of business. We call it social business. Non-dividend company to solve human problems. Very simple idea. Non-dividend, I don't take any personal dividend. As an investor, I can take back my personal money, whatever I have invested, nothing more. But it keeps on working in solving problem. Any problem we see around us can be addressed by creating a social business. And one good thing about social business, it can be very small. Create a small social business, and then if it is successful, repeat this. Like we did the microcredit. It was a tiny little microcredit, and we repeated it. Now it's millions and millions of people around the world have that, because just repetition. So it's almost like taking a step. Once you know how to take one step, you will learn how to walk. You can go miles, you can go 1,000 miles. So that is the power of social business. Today, technology comes that makes it helpful. And today, ideas is plenty of ideas to share. That's helpful. So each one of us can create those social businesses. What we have done, we have created nursing college in Bangladesh as a social business, because Bangladesh needs lots of nurses. But there isn't any good nursing college in Bangladesh. The ratio between doctor and nurse in Bangladesh is 3:1. There are 3 doctors per nurse. So we created a nursing college as a social business. One of you here attending this from Bangladesh is a student from nursing college. She's coming. Yeah, where are you? Yeah, stand up. Yeah, listen. Good. She's right there on the top. See? She's from Grameen Bank family. And we gave her education loan from Grameen Bank and created nursing college in collaboration with Glasgow Caledonian University. It's a beautiful nursing college. So she's a student there, it's right here, coming from Grameen Bank family. And there are lots of young people who went to school, went to college, went to university with Grameen Bank education loan. No jobs. They're complaining that we have no jobs. I said, who told you you have to have jobs? They're surprised. Everybody tells us that you have to have a job. I said, no. Why should you have to have a job? Having a job is an old-fashioned idea. Don't even think about it. They get very surprised. They say, what do we do? I said, First, think yourself in a different way. Think, I'm not a job seeker, I'm a job creator. See? Immediately everything happens. Why should we, as a young person, want to get fitted into a big machine in a little slot and compromise my creative power? I'm a creative being, and young person is the most creative of all. And today's young generation is the most powerful generation in the entire human history. What a power that is. Because you have the technology, you have connectivity and so on. So we are prepared to do a lot bigger thing. Then you just take for a job. And what does a job mean? You get into a slot there and do whatever is instructed for you. You don't design anything because you start at the very low end of the whole thing. So you are designed to do exactly what they're expecting you to do. You sacrifice your entire creativity. I said, this is not befitting to the young generation of any kind. And that's not befitting to any human being. Human beings are supposedly go-getters, creators, not taking a tiny job in something. And job for what? Job to make the shareholders of the company to make a lot of money for themselves. Is this the purpose of my life? To work in a company, to let shareholders make lots of money for it? That's the challenging thing. I'm a creative person. I can create my own thing. I create things which solves problems. So I tell the young people, I say, why don't you become job creators? So they don't know what to do. So we created Social Business Fund in Bangladesh. And tell these young people from Grameen families, come with business idea, any business idea, tiny, middle, whatever you are, and tell us what it is. And we invest in your business. Money is not your problem. We'll provide you the money. We become your shareholders. We become your partner. And let's do it together. One of you here present today from Bangladesh is one of those entrepreneurs who take money and is starting a business himself. Is there here? Can I see somebody here? I don't hear him. But there's one who came from Bangladesh. Yep. Yeah, here it is. Give him a big applause. Okay? Now hundreds of them, thousands of them coming with business ideas. We tell them, don't ever even think about job. Job is a tiny thing, it's not befitting to you. You do things your way. We create social business, and we give you the money, whatever money you need. You become successful. As you are successful, return the money that we gave you, not a penny more. Because we are a social business. We don't want to make money out of you. All we have to do, all we are trying to do is solve your problem so that you are launched into the orbit and become a full human being, solving problems. Problem of unemployment. You first solve your own unemployment problem by becoming an entrepreneur. Then you become a job creator. You hire people for yourself, and you solve other people's unemployment. Then you become productive in solving things for other people. So enormous capacity to do that. So once you put that into mind, suddenly you feel there shouldn't be any unemployment problem. And I ask the question, who created this unemployment problem? Suddenly young people didn't create it. They want to work. They're full of energy. Then system put a chain around us. All these young people, creative young people. So you're no good for us. Should the system tell us, young people, that we are not good for them? Or should we tell them that you are not good for us? You get away from us. We create our own world. I see we can create a world completely in a new way, where not a single person in the world would be suffering through the insult, humiliation of remaining unutilized. It's totally unacceptable. So we can create a world, there'll be no poor person. We can create a world where not a single person will be unemployed. And the word unemployment itself will be unemployed. Because you don't know where to use it. That was the end of it. So that's the challenge for you. Come up with the way, design things in a way so that you can create a world of your own. Don't accept the world that you have. If you accept it, you are finished. You are sucked into it. You defy that world. Say, we create our own world and make it happen. And social business will be helpful for you because that's what it's all for. Thank you very much.
Now we have 4 questions for you from the audience that I think we'll...
Thank you.
So there are 4 of you who have questions. If you, the 4 of you who we've talked to already, could take the microphones. And I think first up we have David Malingeon from France.
Okay.
We then have Cassie Delaney from Ireland, Johanna von Ritter from the USA, and Shazib Karol Islam from Bangladesh. So, David.
Hi.
I come from France. First of all, Professor Yunus, it's a huge honor for me to meet you today, and I think from all the audience, you have been a true inspirational leader for me, and I'm glad to meet you today.
Thank you.
I'm really interested in how the new technology can solve the world problems, and all the problems like we've been discussing over the past few days here. And my question is, can you share with us some innovative and game-changing example of social business using new technology that you recently saw and that can really be scaled and have a huge impact? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, let me quickly, the use of technology, that's a whole issue for that. Today, technology is everywhere. If you take back during your lifetime, when you are since 10-year-old, you become exposed to technology. Even between the 10-year-old and what you are today, all the technologies have changed in this period. Imagine what kind of technology you will have in the next 20 years. It will be science fiction technology. You press it and you are flying. Something like that. You press it and you are somewhere else. Something unimaginable. So why don't we use this technology, which is transporting us one place to another, communicating, seeing us, to solve the problem of healthcare? Today, mobile phone can solve all the problems of healthcare. All your body information can be transmitted to the mobile phone. Just hold it in your hand, and somebody will be watching in your screen everything that your body is responding to or working a day-to-day way. So any change in your body performance will be detected, and you'll give you warning in your screen on the mobile phone, like you get the weather information on the mobile phone. It'll give you body information on the mobile phone. Get some more sleep because you're not taking enough sleep. Or walk a little bit more. So prevention can become the real solution to the healthcare, not just curing. Curing is the end result because you got sick already. And you have already suffering for several years before you got real sick. So we don't have to do that. So imagine that. Use the mobile phone, wristband, or just whatever, your watch. It's transmitting everything for you. And we have already developed many of those things as a global community. We are already doing that. Some of the problems of not developing this because new technology is coming from people who want to make money from the technology. So they want to see which technology will give them more money. They're not looking at the technology will solve problems. That's why we need the social business. Delink yourself from the profit motive, and suddenly all these things will happen. So this is one example for that. Thank you.
Sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello everyone, I'm from Bangladesh. Sir, today we are 1,250 young minds here, and today we have lots of stock exchanges where many people invest for different corporations and then they get dividends. So how can a social business-led stock exchange empower more people, provide more opportunities to many people to invest in social businesses?
Yeah, like you have the stock exchange everywhere. What you do, you go to the stock exchange to buy the share of the company which make you earn you lots of money. You sleep at night, in the morning you wake up, you made a lot of money. You didn't do anything. But you bought a share of someplace. So you go there, you want to make money. The moment you delink yourself from money making, you want to solve problems of the people, you don't go to the stock market because that's about money making. I said, why don't we create another stock exchange for social business? If you want to solve the problem of healthcare, you find out which company is trying to solve the problem of healthcare, not which company is making money out of healthcare. That's completely out of our mind. We are concentrating on the company which is making healthcare really coming to the people in a very affordable way, even a costless way. Healthcare can be made absolutely almost costless instead of enormous amount of money we spend there. So we need that specialized system where we'll have a a stock exchange which will be listing only the social business. Then people will come into that stock exchange to put their money to change the world, to technology, healthcare, unemployment, poverty, and climate change. Everything is there. So you buy whatever you want to put money into. As a result, those things will get a boost and make more things happen so that your ideas can be implemented to the stock exchange. Hi.
I'm Cassie from Dublin. In Ireland, we have a really good culture of youth trying to use social business as a way to end youth unemployment. But the problem here is that philanthropic funding is at an all-time low, so it's really competitive. So I suppose, what are the alternative options for a young social entrepreneur when you need that startup funding?
Yeah. First is the idea, before even the money comes. Like one of the way I would formulate it, here is a company I designed, which takes out 5 young unemployed person out of unemployment, because in business that I create, they will have decent opportunity to earn their income, and 5 people will be out of unemployment. It's a very simple thing. Then I say, who would like to invest? You say, philanthropic money is not coming up. We have tried in our work, we run some programs in Albania, in other countries, in Haiti, in Colombia, in Brazil, and so on. One we tried in Haiti, what we call crowdfunding. Put it in the internet. How much money would you need for this kind of thing? $20,000? $15,000? That's about it. So we put it in the internet. This is our idea. This is my idea. I need $15,000, 15,000 euro, and it will do this, 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 this. We put this in the internet. First project that we put in the internet was $25,000 worth. It's an interesting project. I don't have time to explain. Within less than 24 hours, we got all the $25,000 right away. Then they get very excited that, yes, people respond to that. They say, can you give us a bigger project? So we gave them a $65,000 project. It took 4 days to get this $65,000. Then they said, can you make it still bigger? So we gave them $125,000. It came in 3 days, $125,000. So don't give up. There are people waiting. It's connecting. You are the young people. You can go out many, many millions of people. Just $20,000, nothing. Each one is giving $50, $20, $100, and become $25,000, $125,000, and so on. So don't give up. That's it. Come up with idea. That's the whole thing. Hi.
The question that I was selected for was actually about crowdfunding. So I'm going to change that a little bit since
Go
you
ahead.
just spoke about it. Instead of asking about that, I wanted to ask you a two-pronged question. First, as the pioneer of microfinance, what are the biggest challenges you see of it? A colleague of mine here was discussing how occasionally there are very grave consequences of microloans, going so far as suicide. Clearly that's an extreme case, but what challenges do you see on the ground with microfinance? And in addition to microfinance, what is the one other most powerful tool you see for driving local community empowerment? Thanks.
On the microcredit side, there are one that I emphasize all the time. There's a right microcredit, there's a wrong microcredit. Right microcredit is based on what we call social business. People who are running that microcredit program are not doing this to make money for themselves. They are doing it to help people get out of poverty and so on. So the de-linked from the personal money making from the microcredit. The wrong microcredit is one who want to lend money to poor people to make a lot of money for themselves. That's a wrong microcredit. The problem that you see, the torture and all sorts of things that you hear about it, is all related to the one they want to make money. They want to get more things going, raise the interest rate so that they can make a lot of money, put pressure on the people. We don't call them microcredit at all. We say they belong to the loan sharking area. Microcredit was born to fight the loan shark. That's why I gave the example, how it began in the beginning. It was to get rid of the loan sharks. So now some people are using the idea of microcredit to become loan shark. So that's where it creates all those problems. This is number one. Number two, one of the basic problems of microcredit today globally, and I mentioned the bank for the rich and bank for the poor. All the microcredit in the world, except few like Grameen Bank, are not banks. They're just NGOs. take money from somebody and lend money to somebody else. That is not what is the future of microcredit. Microcredit is a banking. So we have to have a banking license so that we can take deposits and lend money. Grameen Bank doesn't take any money from anybody. You just take deposits and lend money. It's a self-contained bank. It lends out $1.5 billion each year. Not a penny from outside. It's all mobilized inside the bank. So we need a new law. There is a law called banking law in the whole world. That banking law is to create bank for the rich. There is no banking law to create bank for the poor. That's what is missing. And the third point is the regulatory authority. You need regulatory authority to see who is behaving the right way, who is getting over those norms and the rules and so on. There is no regulatory authority in most of the countries. In Bangladesh, we insisted and we created a Bangladesh Microfinance Regulatory Authority so that there is a machine which looks out who is doing right way, how much is charging, who is cheating people in the name of microcredit and so on. So this is the most important part of it. And besides microcredit, as I was speaking about the social business, there are so many other things can be done. Microcredit is one part, which is very important part, but there are other parts, healthcare, education, technology, and so on and so forth, climate change. So we created a lot of those social businesses already. If you come to Mexico City, you'll see them in many, many varieties. Yeah, come over. Thank you. Good. Very good.